Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. And today we're going to be doing a little Q&A, something I've been wanting to do for a while now, a little overdue, if I might add. But, I just had to take my time, make sure I got enough questions in. I was probably going to do it at like 1,000 subscribers. So I was like, what if I don't get enough questions? And then, next thing you know, I'm at 1,500 subscribers. I'm like, I got to do one. So here we are, the 1,500 subscriber special Q&A, jumping right into it with the first question: recovery tips to stay healthy. I'm going to be honest with you, talk about it a lot. Sleep. You got to get consistent 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. Just going off of Coros's data, I have using it for like the last month, and it does track my sleep. I'm averaging around, 8 hours and 12 minutes of sleep per week. It's maybe not as good as it should be. Maybe it should be a little bit higher, but seriously, sleep is number one. Obviously, stretching, rolling out, properly hydrated. I drink a lot of electrolyte drinks, making sure that my body is in a position to fully recover everything that is lost after I'm done running. And yeah, sleep is a big one. I just really do think like if you're sleeping as much as you should be, your chance of getting injured is going to be dramatically reduced. So I don't know. I think that the obvious answer is sleep, and it might be oversaid, but honestly, at the same time, I don't think enough people take it too seriously. So that is my number one. And then, yeah, all those little things afterwards are very important too, but none of them come close as getting proper sleep. So next question is any supplements slash vitamins you take? I do. I take like 5 or 6 different vitamins. An hour before I go to sleep, I take magnesium. And then let's see, I take multivitamin, B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, and then an iron supplement. So I'm vegetarian, meaning I don't get a lot of iron at all. I take an iron tablet every night with the rest of those, like right before I go to sleep. And then before workouts and sometimes long runs, I'll take 2 iron tablets at night. So when I wake up in the morning, I can feel a little bit better after taking 2, just like during those workouts, so I'm not as tired. I will also take caffeine tablets before workouts and sometimes long runs. If I put it in for a long run, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that I'm able to use the bathroom and not have to worry about doing that during the long run. And of course, it just wakes you up a little bit, so it makes you feel a little bit better going into it. The next question we have is, how do you deal with comparisons? This is a difficult one. I think that many runners struggle with this. It's hard because it depends on what you're comparing to. I personally compare myself to my peers and also a lot of the pro runners. Even some like influential runners that are better than me, I'll look at them and just be like, man, I'm watching them do their thing, and I'm like, I should be able to be doing what they're doing. We have similar training. Unfortunately, you do just kind of have to accept that some people have more talent than you. It's really unfortunate, but you really can't do much when they have the talent and they're working hard. I know that I don't have the most talent in the world when it comes to running. I definitely do have some talent. There's no question about that. We'll kind of get to that further into the video when we talk about PRs, but I definitely didn't have the most talent growing up, and I just had to learn to work harder. But when it comes to comparisons specifically, you kind of just have to remind yourself like, okay, I'm comparing myself to someone who might be better than me, but like, what was I doing last year? I think that's like the best way of thinking of it. Can you confidently say you're better than you were the year before, or even, the last season? Like, I think that's a really good way to look at it. And as long as you're doing something better than what you were doing last year, I think that's a win. And you kind of have to just accept the fact that this is a patient, long game at the end of the day. Like, you don't get good at running overnight. It takes such a long time to, see all the hard work you put in. A lot of people say, cross-country championships are won in the summer. It's a very true statement. I mean, all the work you're putting in the summer, building that base, is going to help you transition into the cross-country season. So, you just have to accept that it's going to take time, and maybe that's not the best answer with how you deal with comparisons, but sometimes, you just have to accept the fact that you are going to compare yourself, and you almost just have to, get over it, to be honest. And I don't know that there's a really good way of doing that. I do think that I just try to look at what I was like the year before, and as long as I'm doing better than I was, that's a win in my book. So, next question is, what's your biggest running motivation? Right now, it's definitely different than what it was. Now that I am out of college and I'm kind of trying to do my own thing and be successful with, sort of becoming an influential runner and building my own platform, I think my biggest motivation is the people that support me. Definitely Arrow being my coach. Like, I want to make sure that everything I do is up to his standard and I'm never like letting him down in a sense. And it's crazy that I say that because I don't think I could ever really let him down. I think as long as I'm doing the bare minimum, he'd be proud of me. But I think that if I go above and beyond, Arrow sees the work that I'm doing and it just motivates him more to give me, more intense workouts or, advise me on what I should be doing. And I think it's kind of this, codependent relationship where as long as we're, both giving it our all, we're both getting better. And I think that it's huge to have him as a coach because I just have somebody I trust. We are friends, obviously. Easy to look up to him when he's as amazing as a runner as he is. And, he's doing his thing. He's with Pro Team now. And he's a beast, honestly. Like, it's just different, man. When you have somebody that quick and that talented and that hard driven, like, it's hard not to be motivated by him. And on top of that, I have parents that are insanely supportive. My dad's driving with me in the mornings on my long runs. My mom's cooking for me when I'm home, making sure I get all my vitamins in, giving me hydration drinks, all the sports drinks I have. Like, she goes to the store and gets them when they're on sale, make sure she's taking care of me. Like, it's not easy to have, a support system like that. So I'm insanely grateful for them and I don't want to let them down. I want to do everything that I can to make them proud. Even like my brother and my sister, like, I want to be somebody that they can look at and be like, yeah, that's my brother. Like, I'm so proud of him that, he's living his best life and he's happy doing what he does the best. And, he's doing something. Like, I don't want to be looking back at life and, have regrets that I didn't do something that, I'm going to be proud of and the people around me are going to be proud of me. So I do think it's the people that I surround myself with, trying to make them proud. And I think that's what keeps me motivated every day to continue running. And the most support, the more support I have, the better, especially when it comes to you guys. Like, having you guys supporting me on YouTube, it definitely helps motivate me as well to continue to post these videos and work hard in my workouts to make sure I'm doing the absolute best I can so that I can share that with you guys and hopefully motivate some of you. So that's kind of basically my biggest motivation at the moment. What made you start YouTube? I started YouTube so long ago. I think it was like my sophomore or junior year of high school when I posted my first video. And that was exploring an abandoned hotel in Mexico. And that was just awesome. Like, I really loved the filming and editing process of YouTube. And it's just like, I wanted to share my experiences and be able to document it and look back on it whenever I got older. And even today, like, I still go back and watch some of those videos. Like, even when I was in junior college, I could see, all the people that I ran with and met. Even in high school, I have videos that I made a long, long time ago with friends from high school that I can go back and watch whenever I want. So it's just a way to document my life and be able to relive it, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm always filming stuff of my life, and some people could say, like, you're not really living in the moment. But the way I film, I feel like it's as in the moment as it can be. Like, when I'm looking back on all the film that I made, I'm doing it in like a documentary style to where I'm showing you guys exactly what's going on with me, and maybe I could try to appreciate life a little bit more when it comes down to filming every single day. But at the end of the day, I love the fact that I can look back on everything that I've done so far and be able to enjoy it once again. And I really love that style of just being able to document everything I do and rewatch it whenever I want. So that was definitely one of the reasons why I started my YouTube. Next question we got, jumping over to some of our YouTube comments. Oh, no, one more Instagram comment. How many months does your longest injury take off of running? Man, that's a good question. I want to say my second year of junior college, I had to take either 4 or 5 weeks off for, was it shin splints or was it my knee? I think it was my knee. I think I had knee pain. and I like had like runner's knee or whatever it's called, and I couldn't run. I had like 4 or 5 weeks off, so about a month, a little over a month, and that was rough because it was right in the middle of the season. I got to race once or twice before nationals, and it was rough taking all that time off. But I did a lot of biking, which helped. I was on the elliptical, doing as much cross training as I could, and then got back into running and had an okay season, but it was definitely kind of rough. But yeah, I think only like a month or maybe a little over a month was the most time I've had to take off for an injury. Now, jumping over to YouTube, when did you start running and what was your PR progression throughout the years? So I can't give you, extremely specific PRs because I was so bad at running, I didn't want to know my PRs at the time. I'll tell you what I can remember. I started running in either 5th or 6th grade when I was doing track. I was probably just doing like sprints and jumps. I didn't start cross country until 7th grade. I did cross country 7th and 8th grade. I ran like a 12, 13 minute 2 mile, nothing special. I barely made the state team. I think I was an alternate at state. Nothing crazy at all. And then going into freshman year of high school, I want to say my fastest time in the 3 mile was something like 17:54 maybe. I know I broke 18 minutes and I was like, oh, this is so cool. I broke 18 minutes and I ran like, yeah, something around there. Between 17:30 and 17:54-ish, like around there is what I was running. Freshman and sophomore year, I ran the same time, freshman year, sophomore year of cross country in high school. Didn't run track at all until senior year because I played volleyball, and volleyball was winter into spring, so I wasn't able to do both. And then, let's see, I took junior year off. I did travel volleyball, so I didn't run cross country. I got back into running after my junior year, so senior year I ran 16:58 for the 3 mile, if I'm not mistaken. 16:58 was my fastest time my junior year. I ran at my last race of conference, and I was pretty hyped with that because I was like, finally broke 17. Took a long time, but breaking 17 minutes in high school, like these kids these days are running, low 15s, breaking 15, so it's really not that great, to be honest with you guys. But like I said, I wasn't really that good of a runner when I was in high school, and I really haven't been that good of a runner until kind of now, in a sense. But going into track, my fastest time in track was a 4:52 or 4:53 in the mile, and I ran that obviously my senior year, the only year I did track. So that's all of high school. Going into college, I ran 28:12 for the 8K my first year of junior college. Second year of junior college, I had my injury, didn't run any faster than that. Junior year of college, I was at Lindenwood and I ran, what was that, 26:56, maybe around there, for my last race of the season at conference, Lewis. And then, let's see, the next year I did not run any faster, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I ever broke 27 the next year. That would be my senior year of college. And then my 5th year, I ran 26:13 for my last 8K of the season as well. So last 2 years of cross country were really rough for me. I've talked about that a little bit before. I probably will make a video about that sometime soon, but it happens. And then in track, I ran, wow. In track, I broke, 16 minutes for the 5K in indoor my senior year, because I only had one real full track season. I was injured track. We didn't have track in junior college, should point that out. And then my track season, my first year at Lindenwood, I was injured for the end of winter going into spring. So I was like, oh, this is tough, but happens. So I really didn't run track. I only really ran 1 year of track, and that was my senior year of college, of course. And then I ran, I think I ran sub 16. I ran like 15:58 or something like that when I was during like an indoor race at Vanderbilt.
Luke, let's go! Go get him right now! It's dead silent, except me. Big PR here. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Oh my goodness. Oh, Usai Eagle get clapped. That's right. Hold this L. Luke Talbot. What a race. Big boy PR. Like I said, 15:45. Oh my goodness. 15:40. What a performance.
And then in outdoor that track season, I don't even remember what I ran, but no time was all that great. That's why I kind of just cleared it from my memory because I couldn't really care about those times because there was other problems that I was having throughout the track season. So not too worried about it. But yeah, that's my progression in PRs throughout the years. Not too interesting, but you know, if you guys are interested, maybe you are. Next question is favorite distance to race? Easily the 5K. I love the 5K. On the track, 5K. On the road might be a 10K. 10K on the road is really nice, I won't lie. So probably 5K, but yeah, if I'm on the road, 10K is pretty cool. Next question, running pet peeves. Oh my goodness, stopping on a run, tying your shoes, those are the biggest two. If your shoe comes untied during a run, what are we doing? Like, we gotta double knot that thing. I think my shoe has untied maybe once or twice on a run in my entire life. Like, I double knot my shoes. I never have that problem. So I don't really understand how people's shoes come untied like almost every run. We had teammates that we literally had to stop every run because their shoes would come untied. But otherwise, like actually stopping during a run to take like a break, I never understood that. I think because of high school, it was like seen as a sin to stop during your run. So even if like the entire group was absolutely dying, you just prayed to get hit with a red light. And that was basically it. If you didn't, you just kept running. If the light was green, you ran. Like there was no stopping. So even now, I don't stop during any of my runs. And I think that's like kind of something I've regret a little bit because I do kind of see the benefit to stopping sometimes, but at the same time, like now I'm just so used to not stopping that if I do stop, like I just feel dead afterwards. So yeah, just yeah, stopping during runs and not tying your shoes tight enough. Next question is, have you trained with Jim Walsley yet? He would be able to show you how he went from normal running to ultras, also finding a sponsor too. So first part of this question, Jim Walsley, had no idea who that was, had to look him up. He's an ultra guy, and I'm not quite sure where he lives. It looks like Phoenix, Arizona, so not sure how I would have ever ran into him, but no, I have not trained with him. I don't know that I ever will, to be quite honest with you. It'd be cool to, I'm sure, but yeah, I'm not an ultra marathon runner. I might one day in the future, but I know a couple of people have like said, "Oh, you should run ultras," and yeah, again, I might someday in the future, but right now, I'm really in no position to do so. I'm young. I want to focus on the shorter distances while I have this speed in me, and then when I get older, I'll worry about everything else. I'm probably going to do marathons in the next few years here anyway, so I want to focus on what I want to do, and I don't really have any drive to run an ultra marathon right now. I definitely think that I'm better the longer the distance, but at the same time, it's like, I just want to experience everything at my own pace. So the second part of this question, finding a sponsor, I would love to be sponsored. Obviously, like the dream is always going to be Nike, obviously with the collection I have, but I'm not too picky when it comes to things outside of that. Like, I definitely would love to have a supplement sponsor because obviously I go through a lot of electrolyte drinks and even obviously the supplements that I use, protein powder and all that. So maybe one day I'll be able to find a good sponsorship, but I'm a small channel. I'm not really too worried about it at the moment, and I really don't want to be forcing, ads down your guys' throats. Like, it's not that deep. If companies send me stuff, I'm happy to unbox it and talk a little bit about it, or toss it into the summer running series so you guys can see what I'm using. But I don't want to like have to make videos saying like, oh my God, here's the brand new whatever. And I'd love to do that sometimes. Like unboxings are really cool. I love to review stuff if I can, but like I also don't want to be forced to do it, if that makes sense. So I do love when companies send me some stuff and I can show it off to you guys. But again, I think that that just comes with time and something I'll probably adapt to in the future. But I know there were two other questions that I had gotten asked a few months ago. One of them being what all the bracelets on my wrist are, and I think I responded to that, but just to respond to it again. Funny enough, when I started working at the pool 7 years ago when I got hired, or that might have been 8 years ago by now, they have these bracelets for the camp kids that come to our pool and swim, and they're just for different requirements or what they're allowed to do basically. So like red, they can only be in the shallow end, yellow, they could be in the deep end, and then green, they can be anywhere in the pool and go down the slide that we have. So they have all these bracelets, and the reason, and there's a new one, there's a purple one, but I don't really entirely understand that one. The reason why I actually have all of them is because they're kids bracelets, and my wrists are so small that not a normal bracelet will fit me, but these are so small because they're for kids that they actually fit and they don't fling around my wrist, they stay still. So like I was like, oh, finally a bracelet that fits me. So I collected all of them. The camp kids love to see them, that we talk about it and whatnot. And yeah, that's why I wear all of them. I also have another one underneath all of them. The rest of them are hair ties. Like even this is a hair tie. And then I have one other bracelet. It's a yellow bracelet that has the coordinates of my house on it that my mom got me when I first moved to Lindenwood, which I thought was really sweet. So I've worn that ever since. And then I also have a bracelet on my ankle. It's rainbow. Same thing with camp ones. It was just a special one that they went on like a little trip, field trip, and they got the rainbow one, but it didn't fit on my wrist. But it like perfectly fits on my ankle. So I wear it on my ankle, and I don't know. I just think it's funny. So I haven't taken it off in like 3 years now. So, you know, I just think it's kind of funny. And then the other question I got was, what does Love All Things like stand for, mean, origins, whatnot? And Love All Things is just my initials, LAT. I was thinking of like doing something cool with that because obviously I use it as my watermark. If you look at like maybe down here, I think it should say LA and then T, which I designed that personally. And yeah, Love All Things was just like I took L, A, and T and tried to, you know, come up with some like cool little catchphrase that I could use. And ideally, like in a perfect world, Love All Things would make sense because, you know, you should be positive and promoting like, you know, well-being and love to everybody. Obviously, in the world we live in, it's not very realistic because there's not, you know, we don't live in a perfect society. But, you know, I think it's also, you know, something that we can relate to as runners because we don't live in a perfect world when it comes to running either. Like, there's injuries, there's illness, you know, you're never going to get perfect reps. Like workouts don't always go as to planned. So it's almost like, you know, we strive to be the best runners we can be, and Love All Things just means like, you know, strive to be the best person you can be. So I thought that was really clever, and I don't know, I kind of like it. I think it's a good little catchphrase at the end of all my videos to try to promote that, you know, a little bit of happiness and well-being. And obviously, you know, when you guys watch some of my videos, I'm not always happy-go-lucky. There's definitely times where I'm down in the dumps, and I'm not afraid to show that. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to try to be the best you can be, and I think that's pretty important. So that's why I say that at the end of all my videos. That's where it came from, just me trying to be clever, using like a little words with my initials, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed the very first Q&A. I'm sure I'll do some more at some point in the future. So if you do have any questions you want to get answered, drop them in the comments below. Either I'll respond to in your comments, add it into the next Q&A, whatnot. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. If you guys enjoyed doing it, let me know, and we'll try to do another one very soon. So with that being said, take care, love all things, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.